Good evening, good night, my brothers. So I just had something like that happen really quick. Had a really great conversation with Grinch today. A lot of things were discussed. A lot of things were explored. It was great. It was great. Awesome brother, and another great mind in the space that will do quite a bit, and will have great effect and great impact on the space with his knowledge and just a way of actually discovering and talking with one another and going back and forth. Out at Lowe's, I always be at Lowe's, man. Like every weekend, I be spending so much money here at Lowe's. I always have like little house projects and stuff like that. Had to get about 90 bricks because I'm like planning some walkway and pathways at the house. So trying to like kind of do some cool stuff over there. Some Pinterest stuff. Probably doesn't look as good as Pinterest stuff. Had an interaction with a woman here. Oh God. And it's a woman that I've tried to talk to, do one or two things with. I got the number one time text, nothing really happened. And then today I just thought about it and I was like, you know, she's always nice, just being professional, of course, too. But she's always nice and we'll talk. But it's always like, you kind of see there's something there, but then there's not, you know, because you could just tell, like, with female energy, with some of the stuff that they do. Sometimes they just do it because they want the attention as well. So this is kind of one of the things I confronted today. And this is kind of a great lesson of MGTOW philosophy. Even, you could just say male philosophy, being a man and stuff like that. Excuse me. Something that I talk about quite a bit, not being blue pill about certain things, but being like practicing and applying MGTOW philosophy. One of the things I did today, and I just noticed it, and I was just like, you know, I had talked to her and I was like, what time you get off? All right, let's do something afterwards. Oh, I don't want to be doing stuff, you know, stuff like that. And I was like, and as I'm putting stuff in my truck, I said, you know what? There's something there. There's a like, because if a woman likes you, like, just be straight. If a woman likes you, I've said this before, there's nothing that's going to get in her way. There's nothing going to stop. She'll stay up late for you. She'll do this. She'll meet you here, so on and so forth, because she likes you. So I went ahead and asked her. I said, listen, I'm just be honest. I usually don't beat around the bush and blah, blah, blah. I don't really do all that stuff. I'm going to just be straightforward with you. Should I keep trying? What you mean? Well, you know, we can go out as friends. When I heard that, I said, oh, because what women will try and do, especially when they want the extra attention, and I hope the sound isn't screwed up here, but when they want the extra attention or any type of attention, period, and I say extra because, you know, they have attention from somebody else, which I confirmed, and also confirmed that she's a kid. And when they want extra attention, they'll say and do things that'll kind of quote unquote lead you on type stuff, right? And I sensed it, and I sensed it from, I think maybe probably by the second interaction, and I was just like, yeah, there's something. This is bullshit here. I know this is bullshit. So then, in talking with her and confronting her about it, I said, you know, yeah, I'm not. She was like, yeah, we could talk as friends. I was like, oh, friends. I was like, I don't do friends. Yeah, I'm trying to have a family and some kids, blah, blah, blah. And just be upfront with her. Like, listen, I told her, I was like, hey, I live next to this elementary school. I'm trying to fill it with kids. I got all this land and I got a house. I'm not trying to BS. So just trying to be straightforward with you. And she was just like, well, you know, this and that. And, you know, she started going on. And then it comes out, she has somebody that she really likes. And she just spills the beans about it. And I'm like, okay. Because automatically at that point, once, and I'm not accepting it, but it's like once she started talking that type of stuff, I was like, oh, okay. She just like right then and there, boom, you're friend zoned. Realized, confirmed friend zone. I had already been friend zoned before. And this is the things that you have to like practice and apply when it comes to MGTOW philosophy and thought process, is that you have to know when these things actually happen. And being in the friend zone beforehand, like, you know, she'll say, oh, well, I got to work on myself. And, you know, she said the usual keywords of the friend zone type talk. I got to work on myself. You know, I'm trying to figure this out and all this other stuff. And I was like, oh, it don't take that long. And like, you start challenging them on it. Like, because at this point in my mind, it's a loss. And that's another thing when you start really like practicing like the MGTOW philosophy a little bit more, and you start accepting some of the things about female nature and having the awareness, which is your red pill awareness, you start to see some things for what it is, and then you don't fear it. Like at that point, I was just like, oh, it's done, so it's scorched earth. I don't really care. I'm not gonna disrespect her, but I'm gonna just be like, oh, okay, so yeah, you know what's going on. You don't need that long to work on yourself. Yeah, when I moved down here 6 months, I was like, all right, cool. I mean, I feel you. It don't take that long. And she was like, and I was like, well, how old are you? She was like, oh, I'm 23. And I was like, well, you know, you better hurry up. Like, and then she actually took it not in a bad way, like being mad about it. She was just like, I mean, I could take my time, but you right. I understand. I was like, yeah, you better hurry up. And she's talking to, you know, she was telling me how she was talking to somebody that had like 2 kids. And then she has her 1 kid. And I was like, oh, okay, Brady Bunch. I feel you. And then she's like, oh, yeah, you know, I'm really into blended families. And I think that's a great thing. And I said, no, it's not. It's stupid. And it's like, it was just like, you know, it's just like quick hits. And I wasn't even trying to do it out of malice. It was just the stuff that women will try and sell you. The stuff that women will try and do to kind of smooth it out, let you down easy, or let you into something easy and how you feel, and so like get your feelings involved and get you into it, and so on and so forth. I was just like, nah, that doesn't make any sense. And then she starts talking about, well, you know, I was like, so why don't you just commit to him and just like, you know, challenge the relationship she already has, because you can kind of test who she is, and if she is even like, hold on, if she is even a person that you want to mess with your damn self, right? So I said, why don't you just commit to him? Well, you know, I don't know. And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, you already know it's not going to work. What are you talking about? You know, I was like, all right, cool. What's the obstacles? Well, he has a baby mama that's like, you know, that she's kind of crazy. And I was, and like really quick without even thinking, because I didn't want to do the dirty macking thing. And I told her multiple times, I was like, yo, listen, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not trying to dirty mac. Like, I'm not trying to. So I stopped. I held back on a lot of stuff because, you know, I don't know who the brother is. And I had to check myself. And I said, listen, man, I don't know who that brother is. But it was real quick. She was like, yeah, she's still kind of crazy, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, that's probably because he's still fucking her. And I was like, oh, shit. And he was like, what? You really? I was like, no, I was like, listen, no, I'm sorry. I don't know that brother. I don't know who he is and how he operates and things like that. So I apologize. That was rude. I shouldn't have done that. And I don't know him. And I don't know what y'all got together, so on and so forth. Like, that ain't cool. And, you know, I'm just giving it to her raw, because at this point, I'm already friend zoned. It doesn't really make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to like play these games and back and forth, because I already went forward and was direct and said, hey, yo, listen, should I even keep trying? This doesn't even make any sense. I'm starting to see 1 or 2 things. And just like by doing that, a lot of shit got cut out. You would also say that, you know, I should have done this earlier, but sometimes you just really can't do that. You can or you can't. Some dudes can. I don't. I choose not to, put it like that. And it also depends on the situation and the woman and where we're at. Because that's why I usually say, hey, do you have a boyfriend? All right, cool. If you don't have a boyfriend, blah, blah, blah. Because that's one of the first things I said to her the last time I talked to her. And she said no. So now she's like, well, you know, we talking. We haven't done anything yet. Meaning they haven't fucked. And I was just like, so why don't you just like, I was just like, why don't y'all just fuck? And I was like, and I stopped. I was like, why don't you fuck? And then, why don't y'all just have sex and call it a day? Well, you know, with the baby mama, blah, blah, blah. And I said, all right, cool. You already know what's about to happen. Either, you know, you get with him or just leave it alone. And she was like, well, you know, and started talking all this other stuff, because, and I was like, you know, like, she's like, I don't want to be living in la la land about it and stuff like that. I was like, you are. And then she was like, what do you mean? You know, because this is happening and you know, I don't believe I'm living in la la land. And I was like, listen, you are living in la la land. You know what the truth is. You already have figured it out. And she was like, what do you mean? How do you know that I've already figured it out? I was like, you're already telling me the bad points. you're already telling me the issues. And this is like surface level shit where we really have it. Like, we've cut the fucking fat. Rose-colored glasses fucking off. You know what I mean? Take them out the Nike frame, son. And I just looked at it and I was like, you already know what's going on. You already know what's happening. You already know, like, how you quote unquote feel, so on and so forth. It just, you know there's a problem. So why are you going to, and I had to stop myself there because I didn't want to be like, why are you going to get with a dude that you know is a problem? I just leave it at that. It's a conversation in Lowe's. And then she was like, well, we'll talk. And like, I guess either her coworker or maybe the coworker is that guy. And a dude walked up and then I went from there and she was like, yeah, we just gotta, she like told me to shut. I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, all right, cool. She was like, yeah, we'll talk later. I was like, nah. I was like, I hope you figure it out. She's like, yeah, we'll talk. And I was like, no, we won't. I don't have your number. And I just I had like this bottle on Gatorade and I just threw it away. And I was like, all right, peace. You'll figure it out though. I was like, you'll see what I'm saying is right. And then walked away. And, what happens often in those situations is that the blue pill side of you wants to prolong the delusion that you have, in a sense, a chance. You want to prolong the possibility. And that's what, in terms of just being red pill aware and even MGTOW and further on MGTOW, that's what it's about in terms of looking at that, pulling the veil away from it and pulling the wool from your own eyes, taking off the rose-colored glasses, rubbing your shit, throwing some water in it, rinsing all that gook and bullshit out, and saying straight up, what's going on? What's happening? Because depending on the woman, they cannot let it just, they cannot lie well enough when confronted. And again, nothing against the woman, like, it's female behavior, it's female nature. Once you start to really realize and understand a little bit more about female nature and accept it for what it is, you will, once you accept a little bit more about female nature, you will quote unquote understand. And really, it's really like coming to peace with it, right? Because it's like, it's kind of like, I know this is the way it is and I know it's true. And it's like, over time you get used to it. You feel less and less emotional or connected to it. You're able to disconnect from it and then ask those hard questions up front and just be challenging with her and say like, well, I want to be friends. And, a lot of people don't do it old school. And I thought to myself, okay. And, we talked about a previous relationship. I said, you know what? I was like, have you had a relationship already? Oh, now you're in my business. And I was like, but she said it anyway. She said she was in a relationship. And I was like, what happened with that? Well, he was being a whole hoe out here and all this other stuff. And I was like, a hoe? I was like, well, hoes get paid. So I don't know if what you're talking about. And she was like, well, he was being a hoe. And I was just like, well, were y'all committed? Hey, I hit her with a Love Dorsey. I'd love Dorsey, like, kind of question. I was like, were y'all committed? Like, were y'all really boyfriend and girlfriend out here? And she was like, well, we was talking. And I was like, all right, y'all wasn't committed. So what are you talking about? And then she was just like, she's like, well, I mean, we was really working on it and working towards it. And I was like, y'all weren't committed. Like, y'all didn't even have that talk. So essentially you was just one of the chicks. Like, I didn't say that part, but I said, y'all didn't have that talk. And then in my mind, I was like, essentially, you were just one of the chicks. That's all there is to it. Like, I mean, what are we talking about? You were just one of the chicks to play your role. You know what it is. And she said, when I said, y'all weren't committed, and I was like, and I asked her, have you ever talked to two dudes at once? And she was like, and she didn't want to really say nothing, but I was like, okay, that's a yes. And she didn't say no. So it's just like, when you start to really apply these MGTOW philosophies, these red pill philosophies, and being straight and up front with people and just cutting the bullshit, man. Just like saying, like, if a chick says no, don't be persistent. If a chick says yes, all right, try. But then have a couple, those tries are limited. All right, cool. I'm going to try and hit you up by text. Okay, I don't hear nothing from you. All right, cool. Next time I'm in here, maybe I'll say something to you. All right, you know, nothing really comes of it. All right. And then I just thought to myself, I was like, Mike, why do you keep doing this? All right, nigga, I'm show you what to do. Other nigga comes in, I just come straight to her, and I just said. So this is what we really need to do, and this is the mindset we should be having in terms of looking at this and saying, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I've seen it multiple times before. It's been documented by other people in the space. It's been documented even in my own life. And I need to do what's quote unquote necessary in terms of finding out what's really going on. And me, I needed the confirmation in terms of like, you see it, you know it's happening, but I still want the confirmation. I still want to know and understand what's really going on, so on and so forth. And it just, you can kind of look at it as closure. You know, I guess that could be the blue pill side of it, or a little bit of blue pillness in that. But, you know, it's really just looking at it and saying, okay, confirming everything. And what I liked about it was in terms of like my growth in a MGTOW standpoint, or from a MGTOW standpoint, is that you know, those times when those times of me being more and more direct are more frequent. And I like that. You know, I like the fact that, you know, we getting the bullshit cut out. We're not trying to do any of this other stuff. I'm getting older and stuff like that. And she was like, well, you know, be friends. And so I was like, nah, I'm dating with a purpose. Because at that point, you just buying fucking meals, man. It's just charity. That friendship shit, that's just charity. I've been there. I've done that. That's just fucking charity at that point. Like, literally, it's like your 10 cents a day can feed a child in Africa. In the eyes of an angel, lives in heart. If you donate a dinner to this woman, she will learn not to commit to any one man and keep using others. You will find in the eyes of an angel. And it's like, it's a fucking charity, and you really have to look at it that way. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I can ramble on, but this is 17 minutes, and I need to go and go to the store. And I got to unload like 90 freaking bricks and 4 50-pound bags of gravel from my trunk tomorrow morning, because I'm not doing that tonight. Talk to y'all later, man. Peace.